get it. Aren't we supposed to be on the receiving end instead of the making end? The refrigerator is packed with all the stuff the neighbors brought by. There's no shortage of cakes and pies on the counter either. Are you sure we need more cookies?
We need cookies.
The little kids in Happy Llamas will be here tomorrow. There's not been a day in any of our lives where there were not fresh cookies in Grandpa Clyde's jar. Grandma just needs a little help making them is all.
Thanks for having us over, Mabel. It's been a while since the cousins have had a sleepover to bake together.
Do you think this is enough mixing for the dry stuff?
It's hard to tell. Everything is so white.
I mean, the batch you put in is rising just fine, so you did it right the first time.
I'll get the sugar in there for you.
Do you guys think we should take the heavy bedding out to the barn for her? I heard it's going to be really cold out there tonight.
It's already cold, and she's been out there since she refused her dinner.
That was 2 hours ago.
Well, if she isn't in by the time we finish this batch, we're all gonna have to go out and bring her into bed.
Mom wouldn't forgive us if we let her catch pneumonia.
That wouldn't be too hard to do in this cold. She hasn't eaten all week, so her resistance is down.
She isn't sleeping either. Her lamplight is still on late into the night.
She's always had that lamp on late, even 20 years ago. That's when she had time to pray to her Jesus.
Well, maybe her Jesus is in us fronted since he took her Clyde.
Roberta, he was gonna die anyway.
How do you know?
People die.
Not healthy ones.
Yes, the healthy ones, all the ones. People die. It's unfortunately part of the contract for living.
We are a mist that appears for a little while and then vanishes.
Exactly.
Did you just snitch the dough?
Yes, we shouldn't even bake them.
Well, we didn't have to if you kept on eating them.
But that's the best part of putting the chips in.
You're gonna get sick.
No, I'm not. That's just like Grandpa used to say, so we wouldn't eat all the dough before he had a chance to finish his chores and eat warm cookies with us.
So you wait till he's barely gone and then you start eating all the dough? Can you at least save a little for his memorial reception tomorrow? There are gonna be a lot of people there and these are his favorite.
Bertie, easy on her. It's just dough. We can always make more. I don't get to see you guys as often as I did when we were kids. The whole point of making cookies together was to enjoy each other.
Okay, just don't want her to get sick.
I'm not gonna get sick.
How do you know you won't get sick?
Because Grandma always tells me that the egg she uses are fresh, so there's no way they can have any salmonella in them.
Ah, so she knew you were an unrepentant snitcher.
Yeah, she always knew. She says the secret to a good cookie is to make sure it's about half baked. You know, it keeps cooking even after you take it out of the oven.
I know, that's the part I want to get right. You have to leave the cookie on a couple minutes before you take it off with the spatula. I like them half baked too.
Grandma says that the perfect cookie is halfway between dough and a Dunkin' biscuit. And it really doesn't matter if you eat on the dough side or the biscuit side.
How many people did Aunt Kay say are coming?
It's hard to tell, but when I was talking to Grandma this morning, she said most of Amos will probably be here. There were not many people in this town who did not love him, so I'm sure a lot will come to pay their respects.
You know what? This can just count as mine. I won't have the big ones with you guys.
Come in.
Hey Mabel, I just got back from work. Had a late shift. Feels that he had to take Marcy out skating at the Echo Pond. You must still think he's a pretty impressive hockey player then. So, how you ladies doing?
We're doing all right. The grief comes and goes for all of us, but we're just out baking some cookies right now. About to have some hot ones come out in a couple minutes.
Nah, thanks, I can't stick. I just wanted to check in on Dale, see if he started eating again. Or if you want me to put him down or take him to my place.
Put him down? What do you mean, put him down?
Greta, stop!
Listen, I've got the trailer he's on and I can walk him in tonight for transport. If we wait much longer, he'll be too weak to stand and then I can't transport him.
Transport him? What are you talking about? You can't take that horse.
I don't know if there's anything we can do tonight. Grandma's still trying to coax him into eating. He just stands at the corner where Grandpa collapsed. It's like he blames himself for the heart attack. No one knows how long they were in that stall for, because Grandma went to her ladies' meeting that morning and then didn't get home until hours after chores.
You can't ever keep hand-ladling Walker down much longer. He's gonna have to start drinking on his own, or he'll further dehydrate past the point of any appetite at all.
We can call you in the morning, maybe with all the family coming, and we can move him out without too much of a fuss.
Move him out without asking her? You can't do that. This is still her house. Still her horse.
Oh, Greta.
She gets to decide, not you.
She never liked that horse and he never liked her. He was Grandpa Clyde's horse all the way. She will be relieved to know that Steve is going to take care of him now. She has no business trying to learn new things as long as a 2,000-pound animal needs a change of scenery.
Guys, I don't know if there's anything we can do tonight. There's still so many of us here to help. We'll take turns coaxing him tomorrow.
If he doesn't start eating by tomorrow, he has to go.
You know where to find me. I'll be around all day and most of Sunday, so just give me a ring when you decide to move him out. I'm telling you though, the longer we wait, the harder it'll be to get him back on his feet again.
Thanks, Chad.
Bye now.
Seriously, Mabel, you need to get your mom on board to get Dale moved out. She was always able to talk the most sense into her. My mom would have just gotten emotional. Greta comes by it honestly.
That isn't fair. Maybe that's because we care more about what Grandma needs.
That isn't.
You can't just go changing things on her. She's a grieving widow, not a mental patient.
What is she going to do if Dale dies on her too? A depressed horse can just lie down and die, Greta. He might never get up again.
But what if he does make it?
Do you know all the new things she's going to have to manage to do now that Grandpa Clyde is gone?
I have a basic idea. I spent summers here too, you know?
Then you remember, feeding, mucking, brushing, exercising. Grandpa spent time with him every day. Grandma doesn't even like him.
But maybe she will.
She may not be strong enough.
She doesn't have to be strong enough. Her God is.
Is God going to manage her rental properties, balance her checking accounts, mow in the spring, clean the gutters and downspouts in the fall? Is he?
I really miss him. I mean, he was so good to her. He did everything. For her, for us. And they were together for so long. They were together for 47 years.
Greta, I know. I'm only saying that she's been with God longer. He's got her.
Got her? What is that supposed to mean?
He promised to never leave her, never forsake her. He's got her.
It isn't like Grandpa Clyde chose to leave her.
No, but I'm saying that sometimes people do fail us, but God never fails.
Grandpa Clyde did not fail her. He
Then
died.
Fail to keep breathing then, I don't know. Sometimes we're gonna come to a time and a place where the person that we're counting on, the person that we're relying on, leaves us without what we need from them. They either hurt us, abandon us, ridicule us, or just aren't enough of what we need. God is always enough.
Is that how he handles what happened between you and Jim?
Roberta, don't.
Yes, it's how I handled things with Jim. Grandma and I talked a lot about it when Jim left me. Grandma told me that my identity didn't come from a man, not from another person. I have to be secure in this life, knowing who just gave it to me, and who's gonna hold me when it's all over. You know, I remember Grandpa Clyde always saying this life isn't the house, it's the front porch. We're all standing at the front porch of eternity.
I remember when he said that.
I'm so sorry, Mom. I didn't mean to bring that up.
No, it matters.
I just want her to be okay.
She will be, she just needs to get over the shock.
I really miss him. And I never got a chance to say goodbye.
I think that's what Grandma's doing out there in the barn right now. But I don't think sitting there with a starving horse is going to help her.
Maybe he just needs to get over the shock too.
Maybe.
Smells good in here.
I'm glad you came in, Grandma. It sure is cold out there.
I'll put the kettle back on.
You're wearing Grandpa's hat.
Yeah, well, I had to try something to get him to eat that old Clyde.
Did it,
Clydesdale is, I had to get him, I tried something.
did it help at all?
Well, he seems to be warming up to me a bit. I managed to get a bucket of barley into his belly for the evening. Maybe tomorrow we can try some hay or some carrots.
I knew he was gonna be okay. I knew it. You just put that old hat on and started eating.
Well, we sat and I talked to him a little while. Let him know that I understand what it's like right now. I'm a little lost and pretty sad myself. But I told him, Dale, you need to eat, because sometimes we just have to do the right thing even when we don't feel like it.
Is that when you're ready to eat?
Not if I can have some of that cookie dough first.
We have some that are baked.
Here, I got some hot ones right here for you, Grandma.
Half-baked.
Half baked.
I'm glad to see you feel like eating.
Well, I had some things I needed to get sorted out in my head today. Said to the Lord, it's back to just you and me again. He said, it's always been just you and me. I realized he was right. He's my first love. Because he was there when I met Grandpa Clyde, we got married, children, school, sickness, the teen years, the weddings, the coming of all of my beautiful grandbabies. He's been the silent guest at every meal, in this home, ever cooked, ever served. And he'll be here for all the rest of them as well.
Grandma, you got pretty dirty. Here, here's some wipes for you so you don't smell like horse.
Oh, well, I'll end up smelling like horse anyways, but it sure smells a lot like Clyde.
It's okay to grieve with us, Grandma. We understand that this is a big shock.
Well, I can grieve with you girls, but also, in the meantime, while I'm figuring all of this out, I'll be asking for a lot more help than I have in the past. And, well, you know me, I'd rather not, but for example, I'm going to have to ask Chad to come do the farrier work on that horse out there. And God'll send me more help because I need it. Well, he sent me some cookie bakers, didn't he? And besides, to turn them down is to kind of push away the love and the comfort God's sending to me through them. Besides, I'm getting in the way of the blessing he has for them as well.
You seem so sure everything's going to be fine.
Fine? Not so sure. God doesn't owe me fine. Matter of fact, there's an awful lot in this world that's pretty hard, pretty ugly. But life is hard. Sin, this sinful world, it gets pretty ugly sometimes.
So what's your plan for that?
Well, the best plan I've ever had is to trust God's plan. Just because I don't know what it happens to be, doesn't mean he doesn't have one.
I don't get it, Grandma. Why would God do this to you?
I don't really understand. Like, why would he take him away from you after all the years that you guys served him? Why would he just take him and leave you all alone?
When that drunk driver killed our parents, I stopped trusting him.
Ready? You turned your back on God long before that. If we're going to talk about it, let's go back to where it really started.
You mean when I left the church? I had very good reasons to leave the church.
Yes, I know you did. What happened down there was a complete abuse of power, and it hurt an awful lot of people. It shamed us as a body. And I wish that people wouldn't choose sin over God's ways in his own house, but they do, and they did.
Then you understand exactly why I left, why I couldn't be a part of it anymore. And I'm glad it works for you, Grandma, and I'm glad it works for Ma too, but it doesn't work for me anymore, and that's why I left.
But I mean, you didn't leave the church down the street. You left the God of heaven. You turned your back on your first love.
Because he let stuff happen in his house.
I mean, it's not what God would choose. People choose. People make those choices. People fail. God doesn't fail you.
He let it happen in his house.
I mean, a building with a cross on top doesn't make it his house. Righteousness is where God dwells. He dwells in the praises of his people. He dwells in us in the Holy of Holies. If a church is in sin, God doesn't dwell there. It's an empty building that has his name on the front.
Why would you and Mom go back then?
I went back because I wanted to help rebuild. I wanted my kids and the kids there to have a Sunday school teacher who would be honest with them about what had happened.
Well, I went back because Grandpa needed me as he led the search for a new pastor, and I wanted to be there to love and hold on to the people who did come back.
I couldn't go back.
I couldn't go back either.
Girls, you don't have to go back to that particular place or even a specific group of people. It's okay to acknowledge that you were hurt, you were betrayed, but you both need to know, you both need to recognize all that hurt, all that betrayal that you felt, that wasn't caused by God. That was caused by people. People choose, people fail. God never fails you.
And when our parents were killed,
I know it's hard to hear, But it's the same thing. God didn't take and put that bottle of booze in that man's hand and put him behind the wheel of a car to go careening down the road. He made that choice. People make those choices.
But then other people have to live the consequences.
Sometimes there's just too many consequences for them to live with.
Well, that's part of the problem when we're out mucking around in the mud and the mire. Sometimes the people we touch get dirty too.
Just hurts.
I know it does. Believe me, I know it does. I know. But the thought that's been kind of holding me this week, maybe it'll help you as well, is it's a passage from Psalm 73. I think it's verse 26. It says, my heart, my flesh may fail, my strength may fail. But God is the strength of my heart. He's my portion forever. Birdie, you can have a half-baked cookie. And God can love all of us no matter how half-baked we are. Every sinner, every scoffer, every prodigal, every seeker has gotten lost along the way. And he's coming for them. And eventually his work with us is finished. And when it is, we're bound for an eternity in glory, in his presence. But in the meantime, he's not working on our circumstances. He's working on our faith. He's working on our joy, our love. He's working on our hope. He's working on our ability to let him love us and to choose to love him in return, regardless of the circumstances.
Life is just so complicated sometimes.
And it isn't easy just to trust him like that.
Either God is all he says he is, and he's enough, or he's not. He's a fraud. He's a fake. At some point, you need to make a choice to take him at his word. He loves you desperately. And you need to trust him. Because if you can't trust him, you can't love him in return. Oh, how God loves us. The cross proved that. When all of this fades away, and it surely will, when you face him like your parents did, like my daughter did, the night of that crash, like your Grandpa Clyde did, morning chores this week in the barn. When all is said and done, the only thing left to examine is going to be love. His perfect love for you and yours for him. And there's going to be one question you're going to need to answer. It's the same one he asked Peter. Do you love me?
Peace, bring it all the peace. Storms surround